You've heard the saying, don't go out at night. Ladies and gentlemen, these Dusties will rob you in the broad daylight. Check out the screen, fair use. This is how it's going down in H-Town.
Crime alert that was caught on camera. Tonight, police are looking for two men who assaulted and robbed a man in broad daylight. Look at this. Happened in the parking lot of an apartment complex in West Houston.
That attack happening at the complex on Briar Grove near Westheimer. Our Roseanne Aragon spoke with the neighbor whose home surveillance camera captured the whole thing. Right, Roseanne?
Yes, it captured and it showed just how brazen that crime was. The man was bleeding but survived. It happened in this West Houston neighborhood at this apartment complex behind me just before lunchtime. A terrible crime caught on video.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Houston police need your help looking for these two suspects.
It was horrible because, it's right. It was in broad daylight.
Ginger and Charles Lopez surveillance video shows it happened right outside their bedroom window. A terrifying attack from August 14th.
It was literally at 11:20 a.m. Poor little guy was just running, screaming. They hit him in the head.
Police say it happened in the 2700 block of Briar Grove near Westheimer.
And they jumped him. It looked like they was playing football.
The victim reported to police he was walking in the parking lot when two men brought him to the ground and began to violently rob him, going through his pockets and threatening him with a gun.
He's just picking up his phone, and I think it was his hat as well. And it's just, you can just tell he was so, distraught.
Houston police are describing the two suspects as a male 15 to 20 years old, 5'5" at 180 pounds, and another man 15 to 25 years old, also 5'5" and 180 pounds. These neighbors say,
we've been robbed before, and it's just, we just gotta double down on the criminals.
So that way it doesn't happen to anybody else around here.
You hope they get caught?
Oh, most definitely.
Now, Houston police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting live from West Houston, Roseanne Aragon, KP.
Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't even work. In the parking lot, the Dusties are on it. I can see this little chocolate drop. I can't see this one here. If he's going to be vanilla, trying to cop somebody else's belongings. This is ridiculous. And look. Looks like he's got a weapon. If you notice how he was falling on his butt, go get a job doing acrobats. Check it.
80 pounds. These neighbors say,
we've been robbed before, and it's just, we just gotta double down on the criminals.
So that way it doesn't happen to anybody else around here.
You hope they get caught?
Oh, most definitely.
Now, Houston police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting live from West Houston.
So I guess that's a Dusty's job, is just to basically get up and go rob. At this point, they've lost all. There's no humanity here. There is no humanity here. None whatsoever. A man is simply trying to make a living, and you decide to go ahead and just rob him. I just did a video where a man was robbed and beaten, and they even took his shoes. Are those shoes even your size? But nevertheless, they took the shoes. Dusties don't want a job, but they were robbed. And these men, I guarantee you, they're staying somewhere. I doubt they're living in their vehicle. They're staying somewhere. There are people who know who they are, know what they're doing. If it's like this now, don't forget, the moratorium just recently ended. So we're looking at 3.5 million people who are going to be homeless. So some people are still going through the process. They've been given notification. It takes a while to get through the courts, okay? In Texas, I do believe once you file an eviction, They may have like 2 weeks, and I understand they have some sort of appeal process. So with an appeal process, you can probably get, as I'm being told, between 2 weeks, and then if you add it up from the time that you're served and you go to court, that may be 2 weeks, then you get the appeal, another 2 weeks, you pretty much have a month. So stop and think. Um, if the women that are holding these dusties down, especially the mammies and the girlfriends, if they are behaving like this here, while the mammies are holding them down and the baby mamas and big mama and all of that, what do you think will happen if those women lose their places? They're evicted. What do you think will happen? That's what I'm saying. That's a Dusty's job. A Dusty's job is to simply victimize and rob. What do you think will happen then? It's going to get to a point with these evictions looming, coming. I mean, there's no way around it. People are being evicted now, but the numbers are going to increase. We already had a homeless problem, but it's going to get to a point. I was just telling a friend of mine, even when it goes, let's say you're going to places like Walmart, okay, the superstores. I was saying, listen, everybody by now, I'm sure, has a big screen television, but even if you're buying items like that, she was like, well, I want to go ahead and go in the wee hours of the morning, while no one's hardly there. And I'm saying to myself, well, no one's hardly there. Guess what? A lot of people will know places like that, just my opinion, that is a magnet for crime. And if you're bringing in big box items like that, oh, trust and believe. If they don't get you in a parking lot, if they're following you home from a bank, do not be surprised if you are buying big bulk items. Don't be surprised if they follow you to your location just to steal it as you're unloading. And if you're in an apartment complex, that can make it easier because look how the parking is configured. Even if you're in a house, you get out, you pull into your driveway, you want to grab these big ticket items that you're buying, you can get got just like that. So it's like this now. What will happen when these Dusties, who are basically scraping the bottom of the barrel financially, when they get evicted and the women that's holding them up get evicted? It's gonna only get worse. Keep your head on a swivel. This right here, I know people are concerned and people are scared. I just wish the whole sum of people could have just come out there, man. Only thing is, this little chocolate drop seems to have a gun. I just wish a whole lot of people could have, 50 folks could have came out there with bats and stuff just to scare them and intimidate them. It may get to a point that if you value the community, I notice in some places they have neighborhood watch with some HOAs, and also they have some areas, guess what? They don't even have security that's hired. I was talking with a person. I'm like, how do you guys configure this? And they're like, oh, yeah, they have people walking around. It's pretty much on a volunteer basis. They are walking around on these golf carts. And so they take turns. So in their community, it could be from 2 to 4 in the morning. Somebody's walking around. And from what I understand, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of warm. The guy had a jacket on. Yeah, he got a partner. He got that little heat inside. So that's what they're doing to protect their community. They may have somebody just driving around, just walking around the community. And so what is happening, they're not getting paid, but they're taking turns. At this person this month, this person will do it. We got a whole week here. These two people will go ahead and do it from 2 to 4 hours. This one here from 5 to 6. And I thought about it. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good thing to do. So you're not going to have somebody who's just, running around committing crimes like this. They have a deterrent. If a person does, that's, guess what? You more than likely you will be seen. And it's not just one person, they go in pairs. So some people are taking control of it. I know in a place like Houston, it's a very large community. I mean, you've got an apartment here. That's hard to do. But yeah, in some communities, that's what some people are doing. They are setting up um blockage of time where 2 to 4 this person gets up, drive around in the community, walk around, what have you. They're in pairs. Then 4 to 6, this is what they're doing. So it may come to that, especially if you're in a smaller area. But this is H-Town. I mean, Houston is crowded, come on. But in the broad daylight, the Dusties are in sight. They don't have a job, but they will definitely rob. People, keep your head on a swivel. Be very careful. look, with these evictions coming and what is this, the unemployment and federal aid stopping, if it's like this now, imagine Christmas coming. Imagine the holidays. Imagine when the holidays approach. With these Dusties around, you know it's going down. Anyway, keep your head on a swivel. Try to be alert. I wish this guy here had had the CCW, concealed carry weapons permit. I wish he would have had some protection on him, and I wish he could have handled accordingly. Take that however you like. I'm out. Please feel the like, subscribe, share. Stay safe. And remember, keep that head on a swivel. These Dusties are out in the daylight. They will rob day or night. They won't get a job. Don't forget, they will steal and rob.